Have you ever wondered how a huge movie studio or a major record label manages all of their stuff on YouTube? Well, the answer is this incredibly powerful and honestly kind of dangerous tool called the Content Management System, or CMS. Think of it like the ultimate control panel. But, with great power comes a whole lot of responsibility. I mean, just imagine it for a second. A single dashboard where you can manage not just one channel, but dozens, maybe even hundreds. A place that lets you see every single time your content is used anywhere on the platform. And then you get to decide, instantly, if you want to monetize it, track it, or just block it. That's the level of power we're diving into.
So what is it, officially? The CMS is a special system that YouTube reserves for its biggest partners. We're talking music labels, movie studios, the big media networks. It gives them the firepower to handle enormous libraries of content, to protect their copyrights using the automated Content ID system, and to monetize everything on a massive scale. At its heart, it's really a tool for ownership and control. But as we're about to find out, how you actually use that control, well, that's everything. See, YouTube hands you the keys to this incredible system, but in return, it expects you to follow the rules to the letter. And trust me, one wrong move in here can have some pretty serious consequences. All right, let's talk about the heart of the CMS, Content ID. This is the system that automatically scans YouTube for any videos that use your copyrighted material. But to even get to use it, you have to follow one single golden rule. And let me be super clear about this. It's not about having some of the rights or just the rights in one country. You have to own the exclusive worldwide rights to anything you submit as a reference for Content ID. If you don't own it completely, it does not belong in the system, period. So what does that mean in the real world? Well, it means a whole bunch of content is just off limits. You can't claim stuff you've licensed non-exclusively. You absolutely cannot claim anything that's Creative Commons or in the public domain. And that also means things like mashups, compilations, or even video game footage. Unless, of course, you're the actual game publisher. Here's a perfect example of how that exclusivity role plays out. Let's say you own the rights to show a soccer match, but only for viewers in India. That's your right, totally fine. What you can't do is use Content ID to start claiming that same match when someone in the UK or the US uploads a clip. That's a huge overclaim, and it's a serious violation. And this same exact logic applies to your reference files. Those are the files you give to YouTube to scan against. Each one of those files has to be one single, distinct piece of content. So you can submit one song, no problem. But you can't submit a 30-minute compilation album or a DJ mix as a single reference. The system just isn't built for that, and it will cause all sorts of wrong claims. And this number tells you just how strict YouTube is about all this. You do have a margin for error, but wow, is it small. You have to keep your number of invalid or bad Content ID references below 1%. If more than 1 out of every 100 of your reference files is wrong, you are in big trouble. Okay, so if you thought the automated system was strict, wait till we talk about manual claiming. This is where a human gets involved and the rules get even stricter. Manual claiming is pretty much what it sounds like. It's you, a person, pointing at a video and telling YouTube, hey, my content is in there. And because it's a person, not an algorithm, the potential for abuse is way, way higher. YouTube sees this as a very high-risk action, so you have to be 100% certain before you hit that button. So the biggest don't is obvious. You can't claim content you don't own. But there are others, like you can't claim a video just because your logo shows up in the thumbnail, or try to claim a fan's shaky cell phone recording of your concert. And this one's really important. You can't claim tiny accidental uses. Like if your song is playing from a passing car in someone's travel vlog for 2 seconds, that is not a valid claim. And you have got to be precise. If your song shows up in a 10-minute video from the 2-minute mark to the 3-minute mark, you claim exactly that 1-minute segment. Claiming the entire video is a huge violation because it's just not accurate, and it's totally unfair to the creator who made the other 9 minutes. Now, here we get to one of the most serious abuses of the entire system, using it to shut down criticism. You are never, ever allowed to use Content ID or a manual claim to block a negative review of your movie or your song. That is one of the quickest ways to lose your CMS access for good. And in that same vein, using this tool as a political weapon is an absolute red line. If you try to block political speech that you just don't agree with by filing a bogus copyright claim, that is considered one of the most severe violations you can possibly commit. So what happens when you cross these lines? The consequences aren't just a slap on the wrist. They ramp up fast, and they can put your entire business on YouTube at risk. For most violations, there's a pretty clear escalation path. It usually starts with an official warning. If the bad behavior keeps up, you might lose access to certain features, like manual cleaning. Keep going, and you could lose access to the CMS entirely. And the final step, the termination of your whole partner agreement with YouTube. But, and this is a really big but, you don't always get to climb down that ladder. A single, really bad violation, like widespread fraud or trying to block political speech, can make you skip all the warnings and go straight to termination. No second chances. And for any large companies listening, this part is critical. If you run multiple CMS accounts, a severe violation on just one of them can put all of your other accounts in danger. The risk can spread across your whole organization. So let's wrap this all up with a quick checklist. The rules to succeed here are simple, but they are incredibly strict. You claim only what you fully and exclusively own. You always use correct and complete metadata. You are extremely careful and precise with manual claims. You never use claims to block criticism or political speech, and you have to keep your invalid content ID references under that 1% threshold. At the end of the day, the YouTube CMS is a tool of incredible power. It gives partners a level of control over their content that is just unprecedented. The system trusts you to use that power correctly. So the question is, how will you choose to use it?